I finally got her. Yo, what's up, boys? I wanted to quickly just talk about Kazuraname again. I know people are kind of glazing this shit left, right, and center because it is really a genuinely fun game. But for those who haven't touched it, because I know there's been quite a few people who haven't really given it a go, I just want to say to them that this is your chance to be in a big game that will last for a very long time, right? As you can see by the title of this video, it's going to be a game that's going to stick around. This isn't a 1 week and done. This isn't an Ethereum restart. This is nothing like that. This game does so many things right that is worth mentioning that other games just get wrong. And I think with the current situation with Stellar Sora, it couldn't ring more true. Like, going through their Twitter just in general, once the game launched, you know, they hit App Store, they gave us 5 free pulls, as well as just, yeah, cool artwork, blah, blah, blah. They also give us stuff like this. Thank you for the support. We got 2 million global downloads. They gave us 1,000 in-game currency, 160 a pool, so it's like a bit over half a temple. A bunch of mats to level up all the characters, which I will say, in early game of every gacha, that is huge. Because this stuff expensive. It is a grind to get this shit. It's not different or, you know, mutually exclusive from other gachas. It is a grind, so they kind of remove a bit of that grind so you're able to build more characters. Also, not to mention the gameplay loop of this game. I think something that a lot of people typically like to mention is that, you know, Honkai Star Rail, Genshin Impact, Wuthering Waves. As much as I love the elements of those games, especially Wuthering Waves and Honkai Star Rail, not necessarily Genshin. Genshin's in the bin, we all know that. The gameplay loop essentially kind of sucks. And what I mean by that is I don't necessarily mean the actual games themselves are bad. It is the end game just doesn't have a good repeating effect to play it over and over and over again. You play Memory of Chaos, you beat it, you wait 2 weeks, rinse and repeat. Simulated Universe is not an end game, it doesn't stick around like that, and it just gets stale. Sure, they did add, say, cacophony game modes and all that kind of thing, and really tried to beef up different elements, but they didn't stick. When you play turn-based games like a Expedition 33 or like a Persona 5 even though Persona 5 element-wise it is very similar, it's just not the same game. It just falls flat, whereas Persona 5 has a style, spice, and maybe like the ingenuity or variety that comes with the boss fights keep it around, which is a beautiful thing of Chaos Zero Nightmare. One of the reasons I keep logging into this game every single day is because of the constant ability of pushing something. I haven't even touched Dimensional Dawn, which is the base and hyperspace game mode. This essentially is the Memory Cast equivalent, which is like a great segue. You beat these stage, on and on and on. Once you beat these, there is also a endgame alternate, from my understanding. Yeah, right there, Dimensional Twilight. So when you do beat these, you get the one that refreshes every couple weeks. Now, this shit, from everything I've watched and everything I have seen, it's kind of hard as shit. But the benefit of this game is it's not necessarily how hard you power level your units. It actually comes down to ability because it is a deck building game in its core. Like, for example, if I was to show you my Mei Lin, her deck I currently built here is very decent for consistent spam damage and combo damage, right? I've built this in a way that the more times I use it in a row, it just gets stronger. And obviously for Mika, I've made her a healing battery of sorts, so she constantly heals but also gives action point after action point after action point. You kind of choose how you want your characters to be built, even though they have their broad spectrum layer of what they are. So like Mika is a healer, however, you can build her essentially to be a battery and healer secondary. For example, my Maribel. All right, this idiot right here, her deck is actually currently built towards a really weird agony kind of run, which makes her synergize amazingly with my trauma-ridden Tressa, right? You can't win them all, right? My bad. But for someone who's lacking like a Hugo and a Selena and pretty much every character in the game, because my luck is outright dog shit, I can't get anyone to synergize anybody. And for all of my 5-star characters, outside of the guaranteed hard pity Haru, I've gotten Mei Lin 3 times, as you can see. Life is pain. But that's just talking about the gameplay loops. Now, the actual runs that you do, and I feel like everyone has spoken about this a lot, but it really does have such an effect on why you want to jump back in, is because the chaos runs in this game are different every time. The manifestation runs, you can do so much with these. Element based, sure, but the amount of unique unlocks that you can get the longer you run it, the better it gets. And the boss fights in this, they do have their own unique mechanics that you do kind of need to figure out and build around and almost prep for. Because it is a roguelite. It goes again and again and again and again. There's so many factors that keep the game going, and when you put it up against direct counterparts like a Honkai Star Rail or a Wuthering Waves, it really does hit hard. It has legitimate playability past the initial grind. I feel like once you finish grinding Wuthering Waves and you get 100% map on everything, same goes for Honkai Star Rail when you complete all that, other than spending your daily stamina, you're just kind of done. There's nothing to necessarily do, and there's no reward for grinding. Whereas in Chaos, I can run this game mode for every element I damn well please as many times as I want. Sure, there is a bit of a caveat with that, with the way the stress system works, but more or less, I can always play this game if I want to. Unheard from in gacha games. And yeah, like that's also to say like a story's cool and all. I won't even say this game is perfect, by the way. It is the bog standard, marginally better gacha system that you see these days that Hoyo has popularized with the 1% drops, which is higher in this game. This game's 1%, all the other games like 0.6 to 0.7. And then soft pity at like 56 from what I remember. 57 for SQ with soft pity, and then 70 is hard. 50-50 still applies. So it's not like it's some divine god game that is just free to play for everybody. Although it is considerably better, it's not like it's some Duet Night Abyss kind of approach here. But this is something everyone's been asking for. When you make a game actually fun, and the gacha secondary, that's when we get something that is truly special, and that's what this is. When you make the character grind, oh, not the character grinding, but when you make the character pulling system the secondary effect of a game, you get this. Yes, it is gacha elements. Yes, it does have gamble. But with how fine-tuned and thought through the actual gameplay is with deck building, with memory fragments, which this is the relic artifact system, with combining all of these things, with traces, with light cone partners, weapons, whatever you want to call them, the ability to save different independent types of card runs, like for example, again, my Maribel. We have a weird agony build system here, and then we have a regular, pretty traditional shielder system. The fact that you can kind of chop and change these as well, and then since it is separated from memory fragments, these can only amplify it, you can make some pretty funny builds. I am loving the idea of running agony right now, which is why Tress has been in like every team I've ever done. But I am now slowly starting to build more of the other characters for variety for the basin runs, which is the Memory Chaos, Terra Adversity, that stuff. I am really starting to lean more towards using someone like Nia, because Nia is very, I would argue, skill-based, because she is a healer, just like Mika. However, why is she talking so much? However, her deck revolves more around actually being able to pick and choose what you pull out of the deck, which in turn creates the ability to have so much natural control over what is coming and not leaving the rest of your deck to chance when it is time to pull the cards at the end of the turn. Also, really funny, I just want to quickly say too, this game punishes you if you automatic play. Don't know if it's intentional, but the auto in this game is so hilariously bad, it just chooses the worst option every single time. You can't play it anyway in terms of Chaos Mode, which is the roguelite system, but it is funny to mention. But let's say you take that out of the way, you don't play story. This game has a really cool story. It is grittier, it is more dystopian, and it has, you know, it has legitimate cutscenes in it. Like if I was to jump across to, I believe it was here. If I was to go straight to here, there are like actually cutscenes in the game. Not that this is like anything that's necessarily new, but it is something that is always like a bit of a treat to have when you're just kind of walking through a chapter like this, and then seemingly out of nowhere, they just drop one of these to advance the story, and you're like, oh, well, this is pretty cool. I got flashbanged by this because I was playing it on my lunch break at work, and I didn't expect to have audio just ringing through whilst I'm getting an insane fight scene. Like, it just feels like this game has love put into it, and that's kind of all I'm trying to get across here. This isn't this game is better than Honkai Star Rail, this is better than a Wuthering Waves, this is none of that. This is just a game that people really enjoyed putting together. Now, it is not perfect, as I said. There are really, really bad translation issues, and the game can be very buggy at times. Like, sometimes my moves are actually invisible on the card decks. For some reason, I don't know why. You see straight through them, and when you get visual confirmation of what they are, it doesn't really help. So that is annoying. The translation is annoying. There are two words, agony and pain. They are both the same thing, which I only just learned, and it is really frustrating. And that's only what I know about. I know the translations go a lot deeper than that. I just haven't learnt them yet because I haven't played many other direct builds other than spamming agony and everything, because the way DOT works in this game is kind of fucking hilarious. But anyway, all of that is kind of besides the point. This is more a video to tell you if you haven't played this game yet, now is the time to do so. It will cost you nothing, and you will only thank yourself for it, or you'll find out this is not a game for you, and go play something else, right? It's kind of like you get the answer you want, being early to the party of a game that everyone's kind of jumping on, and you find out if you like it or you don't, and then you go back to what you do play and do like if you don't like this, and you stay on this if you do like it. With the generosity the devs have been giving and the constant updates of how things have been going, like, there's been a lot of unexpected maintenance and things they've been fixing, but as you can see, they pay you through the nose for these little inconveniences, right? Server instability, 500 pulls. Thank you for playing the game, 1,000 pulls, 10 ascension mats. Like, they really do treat their fan base well, and seeing things like all of the situations we've had over the year with every other game out there, it is a nice change. I recommend you play this game. If not, I'll see you guys when I make arknights content. Wuwa, Honkai Star Rail, I think we can all agree, they're kind of, at least for me, in the bin, stale as all fuck. Except for Wuwa, story's good, but we'll leave that for another time. If you agree with me or disagree with me, leave it in the comments below, and you can also join my Discord and tell me there what you think, or agree with me or disagree with my takes in. I am open to all opinions. We're not here to say I am objectively right here. It is a preference, it is a video game. I just want to really push this because I am addicted to it. It is so fun. And we're about to unlock level 40 Chaos Zero mode, which if you guys know what the Zero system is, you pretty much get to create your own world for Zero system roguelite runs. Just like the planet systems for those who already play the game. You get to customize that, which I'll make videos on once I hit it. We're dangerously close. I'm free to play, so I'm not pay to win. Pay to win's already hit it. I haven't yet. Whole another different conversation for another day. But yeah, thank you all so much for watching. You've watched at this point. Like if you liked, dislike if you disliked, and yeah, let me know what you think. Also tell me the shortcomings. I want to know and be fair to say this game isn't a utopia. Some people should also be aware of the bugs and the glitches and the little bit annoyances here and there. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye now.